Hey,
Okay.
how's the weather in Miami?
Very hot.
Very hot. Well, it's either hot or it's raining or it's humid or it's hot, right? Yeah. Well, that's the weather for Miami. But hey, don't misunderstand me. I love that town. I've had a lot of good time there, and some of the best shooting I've done has been in Florida. Okay, tell me about Schiphol Airport, one of my favorite airports. What's going on?
Well, I back in 2005, as many of you may know, the Netherlands began requiring all hunters coming through Schiphol as transiting on to another destination to acquire what they call a transit permit from Netherlands Customs Department. And basically you just fill out the form, you send it in, they send you a copy of your permit. There's no cost. You just have to do it 3 weeks ahead of time. It's a bit of a hassle in that, it's just a little inconvenience, but it's not difficult to get done. Well, Hunter sent in for his transit permit this year and received instructions with his permit in a fax cover sheet telling him to affix a copy of the permit to his gun case. Well, this is a problem. It's a big no-no. Various regulatory bodies and airlines policies and regulations do not allow you to put anything on your gun case that identifies it as a bag that is carrying firearms. So this was a problem. I called the Customs Department in Netherlands. I spoke with Mr. Trump, who is in charge of customs there, and asked him if this in fact is a new requirement that they're making. And he said no. The agent who did this simply made a mistake. So if anyone out there has heard that you have to do this, it's a mistake. Do not do it. Just follow the regular procedures.
You had told us at Schiphol that they had marked the outside of the gun case, which we know that's a mistake. Even anybody who owns a gun doesn't mark a gun case with
Right.
anything. So I guess we had gone just beyond the fact that you had cleared that up. So your alert to the hunter, the international hunter, would be what?
It would be, if you're going through the Netherlands, it is business as usual. Do not put anything on the outside of your gun case indicating that it is carrying a firearm.
Okay, good. So actually, there's no problem at the airport, no problem that we need to be aware of at the airport. It's not, the alert is basically not a real alert. You just go through Schiphol as usual and make sure that no one puts anything on your gun case outside the gun case, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Just take your transit permit with you. You can put a copy inside the gun case and then have a copy with you so that when you arrive, either the airport police or Netherlands Customs will ask you for a copy of the permit. You show it to them. They make sure that your firearm gets onto your connecting flight and you're done.
Right. And if you're lucky enough, hunters, and you do have the opportunity to spend the night, as I said earlier, I left my weapon with the security people, and they were young fellows who enjoyed talking about guns. I was very safe with that. I went on to the hotel. I think we ended up spending 2 nights. I came back, and it was there. So as far as security goes at Schiphol, I think it's one of the finest airports in the country, and I'm glad that we don't have a problem going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So tell me about Jim Shockley. What's going on with Jim?
Well, I was chatting with Jim right before he was leaving on a trip, and he was very excited about a new property that he's gotten a hold of in Mexico. It's just an hour south of Laredo, Texas. And he says that it's a great place to take a nice whitetail. These are whitetail deer, not Coues deer, but these are whitetail deer like the one that you would find in southern Texas. And this particular property is a bow property, which means it's bow hunting only. And he says that you will see lots of bucks every day, and you will see anywhere from 2 to 4 Pope and Young book bucks every day. Pope and Young minimum, just for everybody who isn't sure, is 125 for typical, 155 for non-typical. And I'm told that the bucks that are being taken there are regularly scoring anywhere from 120 to 145. They did have a monster taken a couple of years ago that was in the 170s, but that is truly unusual for this area. What's interesting about the place, these are all free-ranging bucks. It's on a working cattle ranch out in the middle of the sticks. It's typical southern Texas type terrain, low terrain. There's not a lot of climbing, but you've got a lot of scrub and some cactus and that kind of thing. All the hunting is from blinds over feeders. And he says that they've got about 20 active blinds at one time, and they'll rotate those, and they can move them also during the season, so hunters can always find another blind that they can hunt if the one that they're in hasn't been producing anything. But he says that that's highly unusual. This hunt, you can take 1 trophy whitetail, 1 javelina, unlimited coyotes, 1 bobcat, and feral hogs.
Wow.
And it's all for one price of $5,300. That's 5 full days of hunting.
That's
they meet you in Laredo and escort you across the border, take you all the way to the property. And you stay in the farmhouse. They've got bunk rooms and 2 small cabins for guys who maybe have a wife that hunts also and wants to come, so they can accommodate her as well. There's only 5 hunters in camp at a time, and every hunter has about 800 acres to himself, so there's plenty of elbow room. This is a nice opportunity.
And when does this begin?
They will be starting to book this for this year. Hunts start in November. They take a break during the holiday season, and then they start up again later after the holidays.
So this is for 6-8 weeks with a break in between. Is that do we have some specific dates that we can tell? I know we have on the screen right now Jim's a website, and we also have his phone number. Is that where we should go for further information, or can we go to the hunt report?
Well, I'll be running a full story on this in the July issue of the Hunting Report. If you want to jump on this right away, you can read more about it on Jim's website, or you can call his business development person, Dan Goodenow. That's the phone number that you see there. Okay. It's his direct cell number, and he's the one that found the property and is putting the program together, and he can give you booking information and specific dates that are available.
And, going back on some of the other shows that we've had, Barbara, where we have discussed bringing guns across the border, I don't think you're going to have any problem bringing a bow across the border.
Absolutely no problems at all. You don't even need a permit for it.
Right. Okay. Good. So for those of you, and bow hunters probably already know this, but anyway, I thought I would throw that in. But it sounds like an exciting hunt. Now, are you going to go, Barbara?
I don't know. I'd sure like to. I got to practice up on my bow hunting, though.
Well, thank you very much. Listen, we'll see you again next week.
We'll be here.
Okay. Thank you, Barbara.
Thanks, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye, all.